fucking setup here, right? You take that little briefcase to the gig.
With all the cables that you need to run it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it all goes in.
You can make a big sound with that.
Yep, this is the sampler has
That is so funny.
An SD card, fucking
That drum machine looks like a little calculator.
The drum machine is amazing.
Cool. Then
it's got a huge sound.
Wow, that fucking sampler is dope as shit. That like clear orange glass.
This is a fully modular
Jesus
synthesizer.
Christ, man.
This is basically like a fucking Moog that fits in the palm of your hand. It's the size of 3 batteries that it takes. That's it.
The technology for this sort of stuff has gotten so.
In the demo video for this synth,
yeah,
the fucking dudes are playing tennis with it as the ball.
What?
Yeah. They're just like,
what the fuck?
Playing tennis with the synth, and then they're like, plug it in, and they're like,
that's pretty rock and roll, man. For a synthesizer, that's pretty fucking rock and roll.
This step sequencer can sequence all of this stuff to run in sync.
Shit. Oh my god, this is insane.
And the mixer mixes it all. Passive 4-channel
That's crazy,
mixer.
Man.
Blast it out. And then I go around with this little portable fucking Bluetooth speaker, and you just plug it into the aux, and you can just rock. It's
really?
Powered. Yeah.
Can you take it on the subway?
You can just take this anywhere.
Dude, we are showtime. It's fucking showtime.
And this thing is loud as fuck.
Oh my god.
Here, wait, I gotta hook it up so we can jam.
I'm down, man.
But no, we're gonna. Are you down for this band?
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
You know, Sarah Safai is trying to start.
Yeah, she was saying
on Saturday to jam.
She's coming over on Saturday?
Yeah, you should come over too.
All right. Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, I don't care. We just set it up in the back, or.
Yeah, probably.
They built them so that they could keep the handicap out, right?
Right, of course, yeah.
There, Mike.
I don't know. I haven't. I don't know. We went frolfing a couple times.
Oh, you
last
did?
week. Yeah.
How was that?
It was okay.
That's frisbee golf.
Yeah.
It's called frolfing.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
How was the course that you played? Was it tough or was it?
Well, I played 2 different ones.
Oh yeah, I want to play.
You and Whitey and Air Force are.
Me and Whitey and Air Force. You got it.
Are there old guys that play rugby?
Yeah.
Like, what's the age when you just have to be like, you know what, I'm done?
There's a division in that tournament that's 50 and up.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
it's full contact.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow. Those are some badasses.
Yeah. I'll probably be playing in that.
Oh shit.
I mean, as it is, I'm over
yeah.
what they consider old boys is 35 and over.
Old boys.
And I'm obviously over that age-wise, but in Saranac, I don't play in that division. I play with like the regular dudes.
Yeah.
5.5, 6 years.
Wow.
It'll be 6 years in October. You got 5 stars, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I give you 50 stars.
All right.
I know. This program,
yeah.
Not for customer star, only customer for driver star.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
You want to rate the customers back?
I don't know.
Yeah, you can do it. It's right here. All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. Okay, you see, I've completed this new job, yeah?
Yeah.
And the ride, yes.
All right.
Thanks a
50
lot.
stars for you.
Yes. Reynolds Wrap, huh? They just got all kind of good stuff up here. This is real show business at its highest. I know, I saw that. I was like, man, can we set that up? Where can we throw that thing? Like, is there a way to do it anywhere? I'm sure there's a hook or something. I gotta just get this. There's a rat trap on the stage here. That's how fucking real this. That's how real this venue is. No fake ass New York bullshit. You want to move that down?
No, I was just gonna move it like to here so we had somewhere to like set things.
Is that cool? Yeah. The bladder.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking bladder of like meat or whatever. Right. Well, what do you think about it? What are those backpacks with like the straw camelback? Yeah, like that seems like the ultimate kind of like outdoor like hiking thing, you know, like.
Backpack and you want to have a lot of water.
Yeah.
Pretty lightweight.
Yeah.
Your backpack's got this beater. You kind of clip it to the outside of your bag, maybe. But it's starting to twist the clip. I've been noticing that.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. See, I think because our SMB will sell it. It's like a very.
And it was kind of like made in conjunction with another magazine called Honeysuckle magazine that Mike knew, like the.
Don't understand. I want to, but he isn't looking at me. He's trying to read the words into the uncommon posters so after the ball. The motivational posters I'm hanging.
All I see are trees. You know, like nature, they have that here. All I see is mags taking up space in the window. He says, half laughing, "No, it's in the trees. What is that?" When he points, I see what he sees, a tall building painted blue, back far in the woods and boarded up. A sign hangs in faded innocence over one of the doors, telling nothing to no one.
Like muscle, like malice of want to diddle a buttonfly, eating a fly, zipper, teeth, bunched in braid and gummy cunning. The whole relationship become allegory for hunger, which make us be very, very human, i.e. jealously. Write names against the nap of the rug and rub the nap back. Our fingers leave no prints.
Maple syrup being tapped in Vermont may be pure. It is amber, grade A, schedule 1. I waited in a room. This is how it usually goes down. I had considered it once after leaving the museum with a red-headed girl. "He said you wanted to do this," she said. "Which arm do you prefer?" Like no big deal was being made. "You've got good veins," she said. A blue and rubber tourniquet snapped tied around my bicep to flood blood into the limb. I tell her I cannot stand to look at it. "Do you want to know before it happens?" she asks. "Yes, please, just before," I tell her, so I can experience the precision of a spile driven into sap, heat under a spoon. She has done this before, breezy in her conversation. "Have you seen Requiem for a Dream?" I ask. "It kept me up all night." She grins. "It lays your friends down into caskets, caked with makeup, piled under the tree when you go home for the holidays." "And we're drawing," she said. "This is the closest I get. Your blood draws fast, and then it is over. An entire tree tapped into one single vial."
Yeah.
This is one about death, since that's the theme tonight. It's called Last Days. So I used to work at a theater in town, and this guy Jim was pretty cool. He ran that place, and he died recently. So he's in here. It's kind of, I don't know who this is for. Last Days. When they said stomach cancer, Apple came from South Africa and said to me, "He's dying, you know." Knowing this, I nodded. He stared off into the traffic, black tobacco blooming from his bowl. And for 2 years, we watched skin move closer to bones, tremble, swelling in his step. His clothes outgrew him. When the tumor came back at last, like a curtain falling to the stage, I helped move a hospital bed into his apartment. I don't remember our last conversation. I didn't want to think of it that way. But he probably took hold of my hand and said something profound like, "Hey brother, you and I were living in Idaho when the call came. They said peacefully, they said at home in his wife's arms. I went to where you were and drove you home. On the floor of our empty apartment, staring up at the ceiling, I told you to think of life as a door from which to enter and exit the stage. I was handling it better than you, something different. Jim's dead, you said. shaking, moving your body closer to mine. Arms and legs become tangled. I held onto you as if your crying would have lifted you from the floor. Days had passed. I remembered how you grew up without a father. Pain I never knew.
Super excited to be up here. I had a couple of beers and when I have a couple of drinks, I really come to life, which is why my parents stopped drinking about 30 years ago. That's a joke that I wrote. This is a poem.
We thought that was on your phone.
What?
What are you laughing at?
I'm reading off my phone because I left my manuscript on my weekly helicopter tour of Manhattan in my rolling suitcase. So I have to read off my phone now. This is called My Masculine Years. I hate T.S. Eliot, and not in the way Ed Harris raged against Picasso in the stairwell. Sunlight over my shoulder on a table, deliberately burned, maybe as an insult to all the insects, lands in a triangle or paints with low opacity itself. From some towering man-made campanile. It's like the light one afternoon in the white building I lived in. Ed Harris was there, man. It was months later, I went to the museum to graze. Who knew what I'd collect in my Samite drapery against the flowering academy that year? It doesn't matter to Ed Harris, and he was there, man. But he's dead now, just floating around. I'd grown mycophilic. But the light, its quantifiable record of opacity, possibly from over my shoulder too, was really similar. This is not about T.S. Eliot. My friend Mike was about to graduate from some field to some other field. This is not about my friend Mike. I don't care if I never read T.S. Eliot again. There are better quartets in Washington Square Park right now. I bet Ed Harris loves them. But Eliot was probably in the museum that day, looking at like the worst shit there. The ones they hang for Saturday people that know too much about money and don't have to care about it. There was a door like this at the cafe I used to work at. We had no insects, God knows why. Once, when I went downstairs to bring up some whole milk, I caught Picasso crouching in the stairwell. I guess you have to buy something, though. Every gallon of light has a feeling, like really specific. Stairwells are often dark. I remember a bunch of them hanging from some invasive species. They become impractical and not worth mentioning. They're far away enough, like in the middle of a lake, say a 13-mile lake, like maybe Lake Wallenpaupack. The Lackawaxen River being its primary outflow.
Feathered kisses atop of the reflective moon, their robes of pure silk and skins of rubies and diamonds have melted into the clogged, unexplored waters, have been eaten by glittered snakes drowning themselves in a whirlpool of heavy sand, helping suck in earth from its insides. All the Muslims, virgins have lost their tickets to outer space. All the Christians have crucified themselves onto popsicle sticks for their children to see. All the Jews have forgotten to flatten the bread. All the Buddhists are mailing letters to relatives in masks, their organs ripped through their nostrils with ancient Egyptian tools. Not one cried. What about the nonchalant? What about the sugared pudding? Paper mills? Have tongues, demons taken all the restaurant work? What say you, Shelley's hardened liver? Walk ashore, burnt to a crisp by lovers and friends? Whom howled and drunk to your golden heart? The poets are dead. Their eco-conscious twilight bloodbath rituals within New England woods are shadowed bubbles. A brisk walk protected by no one knowing that there's a home. Yet psychically, inside those floating orbs of fear, a nucleus of comfort. Inside that, another release. a magical rest around a flavorful fire in a dimension of suspended relaxation which generates cells, levels alkaline, reminds one of a hopeful feeling of intimacy which vibrates through forwardness. Let humanness prevail, yes. Tender love forgive. Hooray! The poets are dead! She said while passing herself, lying in a wildflower bed, frozen rain blanketing her body, whispering to herself last words amongst visions of three-eyed cherubs dancing in heroic light, burgundy mist smoking from her lips.
Oh, you don't want to film yourself?
I am filming myself. I just started rolling just now.
Oh, you were filming
I just hit record. I got 7 minutes left, so I'm going to do 7 minutes. Everybody, I've decided I'm going to be a stand-up comedian. Riot drag. Rock and roll, motherfucker. Thanks for setting this shit off. Thanks for getting it lit, brother. That's where we should have started. We're just figuring out. We're kind of rusty. I kind of want to open this and just see if people come in. If they want to, if they see something interesting happening. Does that kill it for everybody? Probably not. It's probably not even that loud. I don't know. There's poetry going on in here, guys. I'm a loud mouth. I'm going to talk super loud. So I'm going to use the stage. I'm going to walk around. I've decided. You don't really see poets. God damn it, Brian! Don't manipulate my volume. Sorry. I am probably super goddamn loud. I'm sorry about that. But like Chris Rock is always like walking, you know, like I'm telling jokes and I'm like walking, you know. Poets don't do this shit, so I'm gonna like do this shit. And I'm gonna get it on tape. I'm gonna kind of read maybe a lot, so get ready. Dwayne Reed, you guys, you've been to Dwayne Reed, right? Smoked a piece of dryer lint. You guys have done this? Smoked a piece of dryer lint, like when you're out of weed, and like you find it on the fur, like, is that weed? I'm gonna put this in my one hair, I'm gonna smoke it. You've never done this? You're not as hard up as I am. On 420, I was definitely doing this shit. 420, smoked a piece of dryer lint. Thought it was weed. Hoped. I was not offered the position as a man. So I'm going back to 16 instead, playing in the smokes, crumbing nugs off the bureau into the one-hitter. There was a day when all possibilities seemed possible. As you age, to hell with possibilities. You'd rather stay home. Dwayne Reed is always open. I go there. It's one of the places there is to go. Am I the only one unhappy? Good. I'll be unhappy. Life is a distraction from a distraction. Fits and starts, abbreviations, compromise. By the checkout, calamine, detergent, Special K 2 for $5. I barely buy one thing. Hand sanitizer 89 cents. I wish these Americans would just die. I wish these Americans would just fucking die. Ted Nugent and Sarah Palin and Kid Rock in the fucking White House with Donald Trump? You gotta be fist fucking me, man! This cannot be the greatest country in the world. It can't be. That automatically disqualifies us. Alright. They apparently don't like poetry. It's alright. I'm used to being unpopular. I've been unpopular my whole life. I wish these Americans would just die! I'm sick of pretending their ugliness is beautiful. I'm sick of it! I am a disgruntled human. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I've been through love and back. Death, constants, death, work, etc., etc., etc. Nothing took me. Am I awake? Am I awake?
No.
Probably not.
I'm trying.
You're woke. Now you
I'm
are.
woke. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm woke AF. Am I awake or just supervising the hypnotic dream? Home from the store, carrying a bag of Rilke. Every motherfucking day is an insurrection.
Yeah.
It's performance art. If you suck at something, you're just like, I'm a performance artist. I know it's shitty. I'm a performance artist. Alright, I'm going to read some tiny poems. These are tiny. They're small. So they're bite-sized. They're like fun-sized poems.
Kind of like these little pizza bits over here.
Exactly. They pair nicely with the pizza bits, everybody. Eat them. Addison's friends left. I don't know if they had any of the pizza bits.
Yeah, they ate some.
Did they? They were cool, man. Ars Poetica. You guys know what an Ars Poetica is.
It's like Latin shit.
Yeah, you're a smart audience. Ars Poetica. I don't even want to make sense to myself.
Stay woke, man.
That's it. You just did it.
Woke AF. Woke AF. Hashtag woke life. Your poem. You wanted me to write a poem about you. Okay, here it is. Nature poem. The tree of life has blue leaves. My life, I sat through it. After the thunder shower. After the thunder shower. Pink sky emerged, wondering how it goes. A perfect day, and me just wanting the next. Older brother poem. This is for my brother Jack. Quit hitting yourself, quit hitting yourself, quit hitting yourself, quit hitting yourself, quit hitting yourself. Yeah, stand-up comedy, right? Smells of urgent busting mint. The night was gonna be cool and purple, and another one after, and another one after, and another one after. Alright, I'm gonna do two more. They're both apocalyptic. They're both about light, the dark ages, trying to maintain your illumination in an overwhelmingly cloudy, kind of nihilistic age. Somebody said the word nihilistic. I think it was you earlier. I never considered myself nihilistic, but some people informed me earlier this week that I'm indeed nihilistic. So here's some...
With a glimmer of hope.
Exactly!
Fucking
Yeah.
And of course your
That's
civilization
fucking hilarious, man.
Cool. After a while, yeah. Super classy. I mean, imagine that. Like everybody wants to fuck
Double-sided
you, but
dildos.
so
You got a triceratops dick.
Yeah. Anyways, that's the
cool.
that's the story of the cock ring.
That's amazing.
Cool. So I learned something too.
Yeah.
It's like it's a thing we know.
Stand
Like there was not a waste.
I was on the fence until
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
your Levi's poem. I actually really enjoyed that.
Cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, I have a few of those.
Does anybody want a black lady song?
Dude, I will
Or
take
black
one,
woman?
actually.
She was great. She's one of the coolest people on that trip.
I found a rhinoceros beetle in North Carolina, which I never thought I would.
Oh my god. A fucking rhinoceros beetle.
I don't even think it's native, but I found it on the beach and it was like mostly dead.
I think Dobson flies are the most disgusting.
I don't know what those are.
I will show you a picture because
I
they're perfect.
know the name, but I can't think of what it looks like.
There were a bunch of them in Ecuador all over the place and they were so disgusting. Everything else I was like, okay, it's a giant moth, giant spider, whatever. But like that one is just like nasty.
I recently saw a video of Steve Irwin's
Son?
son.
And he's just like him or something, right?
I don't like the son or
No.
Steve Irwin. The son
Oh, I
is
saw the.
too
Yeah.
enthusiastic.
Oh, God.
Yeah, look at these things are disgusting, dude.
Ew. Oh.
Yeah, it's weird that he's just like his dad. Like, that's kind of a creepy.
It seems like contrived.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't like the way he manhandles the animals.
Oh, really? I've never really seen Steve Irwin that much. Was that his kind of attitude, too?
Yeah.
I haven't seen Steve Irwin very much. Just
Yeah.
The son.
Uh-huh.
Dragonflies are horrible. They're the worst things ever.
Do I look now?
They look like.
They're so disgusting.
Oh, these are cool.
Dude, in person they're gross.
How big are they?
They're like this big.
They were like in Starship Troopers or something.
Like this.
Oh,
like
yeah?
huge
Are they the
long
giant
thing.
fucking bad guys and shit? Oh, God.
They're massive too. I wonder if there's anyone. Yeah,
Look at
here's a
this.
hand next to one.
Oh, here's a ruler next to one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so
But they're
where are
big.
these guys?
Well, we saw
Ew,
everyone,
larva.
You saw these motherfuckers.
Yeah, in Ecuador. So they're definitely
Jesus
in South
Christ.
America. I think they're North America too. I think they're just pretty rare.
Absolutely terrifying.
Female.
And they're like the males are the bigger pincers, I think. And the thing with them is that they're like from like millions of years ago. Like they lived alongside dinosaurs.
Holy shit!
That's why that's why they look
Maybe
so
it is
crazy.
time they go extinct.
Look,
man.
look.
Maybe it is time we kill these
Maybe it's
motherfuckers.
time.
These things they're true evil.
Yeah, they're horrific.
Like that is good riddance.
What do
Let's
they
kill
do?
them all.
What do they do to you?
Trump killed the Dobson
think
flies.
That they bite you. I don't think that they're dangerous. They just look hideous. I don't think that they actually use those pinchers on people.
They do look disgusting, and they look like they'd be very smart.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Like, I can imagine these being in a sci-fi novel and taking
Yeah.
over.
Oh, absolutely. You said they're in Starship
It's cool that
Troopers.
they're that old though.
What are they in?
They look like they're from Starship Troopers.
I have to look up like how old the species is because they were definitely like alongside dinosaurs. That's why they look so ancient. You know what I mean? You can just like tell. You like the horseshoe crabs,
Oh my god, I heard that recently they've been using horseshoe crab blood for medicine.
Interesting.
Well, I think the horseshoe crab blood can identify certain like abnormalities in the human body really well.
Yeah, it's like markers or something. I guess.
A species in China has been reported a wingspan of 21 centimeters,
Holy
which
shit.
is really big.
Yeah, that is.
I don't want to know about that.
21 centimeters.
On the one hand, like you romanticize nature, like like it's a pure world, but on the truth, it's more like a Werner Herzog kind of thing.
It's just like a horror show.
The overwhelming evil of the universe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it really is just this massacre.
But what's worse is like it's like the
There was meaning in the death.
the horrible like cruelty of an ecosphere on Earth versus like the empty cruelty of space. I'd rather.
God. Right. The cruelty of life.
Yeah, just like literally just like space is just like a void with random spheres colliding into each other. Like that's all it is. And I'd rather this.
But there's kind of a purity to that. The
that's
lack
just
of consciousness, I think, gives it like a grace. It's like completely indifferent, Like it's not cruel. It's just kind of silent,
exactly.
and like numb. Whereas like this, the life that comes forth is like beautiful, but it's also just like taxing, man. I'm lazy. I just want to be a planet already, man.
So many out there.
I want to put a harness on him, but I don't think we should with that other
No, not with that other camera. You can't be out there. No matter how much you surprised about it.
Google doesn't have any answers.
What kind of tree is this?
Like, we took pictures of the little strange bud things, but
Uh-huh.
nothing really.
So is there an app or something that'll like tell you, or
Yeah, but it didn't
We
work.
tried, like, Google
fucking?
thing.
What's cool is how geometric
The leaves?
the little buds, do you see?
Oh shit!
Okay,
Oh,
so
try that again.
Dobson flies are 300
Uh-oh.
years old.
300 million?
Nature! Oh, I'm getting nature all over me.
Earlier, Ben promised that he was going gonna ollie over a garbage can.
Whoa.
They're not
On the
flies.
corner.
Yeah, I said I was
They're
gonna.
not actually flies.
Can you really do it, Bennett?
There's cats everywhere.
They,
Oh yeah. We're gonna make a skate video.
Alfred is like in misery right now.
I love how like this.
Is that Alfred? Oh, that's Alfred.
Which can't happen.
Oh yeah, it sucks.
Maybe I can get the
He
whole
wants a
deal.
skateboard, man.
He sees me doing something, wants to do something too.
Okay, but the thing with them is that if you have dots around, it's actually a good sign because they're very sensitive to pollution. So if you have them around, it means that the water's probably pretty clean.
And the air.
Yeah.
It's
So even though they're disgusting, they're
It's
probably a
just
good
like
sign.
it was 300 million years ago.
Yeah.
Hilarious,
Can't
man.
get over this.
Yeah, once he gets a little taste, he'll be like yowling all day.
Yeah. It sucks.
You don't know that, then you're just looking at it like, oh fuck, this could be anything. Like, where do we go from here? Yeah, right. Yeah, so that's my week.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm gonna get paid and be out of there before I thought I was gonna be out of there.
Yeah, of
so
course.
So it goes up 1:30. You know, he's got like 6 people with him that all are playing like random weird fucking shit that like I don't know how to set up. You know, one guy's playing like a fucking like flute through an effects pedal through
God.
this little tiny amp, and he was like, "I need you to mic this," and Matt comes out and he's just totally fucking like I don't know what he was on, but he was on something.
Of
man.
course.
It's like, all right, I need 4 vocal mics. I need a mic on this. I need like 6 other mics over here. And then
What?
like, okay, so it's like I have to redo everything. I had to redo all of my wiring for like the stage and stuff. I had to set up mics in random places. He asked for twice as much stuff as anybody else did, you know. And being a person who runs sound himself,
Yeah.
he already knows that he's being a dickhead. Just there, you know.
Yeah.
And so then he starts asking me questions about like his fucking rig. Like he's like, "Hey, so do you think I should put my phaser pedal before my flanger pedal?" And it's like, I don't know, man. You know, like I don't really care, to be honest. Like just you know, do whatever you think you need to do. So I set up all this shit, and they start playing, and like they don't use any of it. They didn't use any of it.
Oh,
like,
man.
Literally, like they started at like 1:40.
Yeah.
And the bartender and the door guy are looking at me, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, you tell him that he's going to be able to play for about 20 minutes,
Yeah.
and then we're just start turning everything off."
Yeah.
And I did, and I was like, "Look, you guys can play until 5 after, and I'm being nice and letting you do that." And then, literally, I'm turning the fucking PA off, and I'm turning the lights on, you know? And for about 25 minutes, it was just Matt, like, making these weird noises into a microphone and guitar amp, like, with all these weird noises and stuff.
Oh, man, I bet it was awesome.
They played until about 10 after, and then I just turned everything off.
What did it sound like?
It sounded fucking terrible, man. I don't know. It sounded shitty.
At the top of the Bowery is the Cooper Union, where Lincoln gave a speech in like 1860 that kind of like made him the front runner for president about abolition, and that's where I'm going to see this reading.
My mind goes on spinning the infinite thread. Surely I crossed the threshold. I passed through the gate. I crossed a frontier and stepped on the gold-burning sands of Egypt.
So here I am in front of Jonas Meek's Anthology Film Archives, one of the greatest institutions on the Lower East Side of New York City. Jonas Meek is the great poet, documentary filmmaker. Basically, I've ripped off everything I do from him. I saw him filming on his iPhone yesterday. I thought that was kind of a special moment to see Jonas Meek is actually filming something. So, he's 94 years old, he's still doing it. He said that, you know, he's just dreaming upwards. Even though he's like old, he still looked dapper as hell, he looked great. And he said he wants to add 10, this building, the foundation is firm. It used to be a courthouse, I guess. And he says he wants to add 10 stories to it. And put a cafe for bohemian artists on the top, and make it, you know, a citadel for film and cinema throughout the world. And I think he can do it. I hope he does. God bless Jonas Meek. And what that means is I'm here on the Lower East Side, because you don't have your own, so you're trying to crawl into somebody else. We don't have a choice. We got boomer culture. That's it. The institutions were not set up for us to knit ourselves. So, going to the open mic night at the KGB bar, second year running. I really think I'm going to win this year. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt. The heavyweights will all be there. All the nothing monks, all the freak folks will be in attendance tonight. Freak fucks. And I don't really care about winning. I just want to read. Oh yeah, this building over here, right over my shoulder. Fucking Daniel told me it's Philip Glass's townhouse. So we are amongst the gods here, and I'm looking forward to having a good time, man. That's all I care about. And I'm going to get kombucha right now, and then I'm going to head into the KGB, or Russian intelligence, running theme of the year. That's cool. You always have a Band-Aid in your purse? Is that for kids or for...
Don't do me because I have to
Okay.
There will be a little buzzer noise that goes off at the 3-minute and 30-second mark. Sounds just like that. One final thing. When you see your own name on this ballot sheet, I want you to take out your pen and circle 6, which is the highest score. So we're all just going to give ourselves a little love and before this thing starts off. Okay, wonderful. Well, I guess we'll welcome up Matt Proctor. We'll make give him some additional love for going first.
Thank you. I am trapped inside the tight room of my shirt. You rely on the canal to port me up the water gloss to an irreverent river Plants jungle the sill, the bay window, following the sun's every move. It felt like soleil or some appeal to majesty. There's a disorder to the lower lip that is essential. A way the words have of tripping onto the scene only to become its star, but I resolve never to know what one day truly means, only to falter into a fictional appropriation of said events, my so-called locality in the late paginations of silent monologue. Diary of an outtake. Someday the prologue will be over. Light held in escrow in scrawny apartments, a willow stolen lengthwise, swaying to a shoegaze metronome. I die of night, a broken bohemian tacked to the baseboard pipes, fish wandering the ceiling, buttons crude in the burial soil. Enter a glossy parade, warped binders eating my 6th grade, 1 centimeter at a time. There's a bird in a shoebox, beaten with a hammer, an urge reaching the long-gone finger, ghost closed, just dust playing on a contact lens. Winter was up half the night, fighting in the other room. I drank the block, turned right on red, gas moving into the key. I want non-sequential living, moments jump cutted to further moments, silver rungs mediated by the glass of stars. Getting room toned on a prepaid calling card. Let's hear our blood travel the length of the veins. Gritty cells tumbling like a can of whispers. Words sorry for teaming up that way. I dumb down to shocking grace and tell those monkeys to go back to space, be blank, and leave an anonymous corpse. I am nothing but my own comparison. Leave it out overnight and the singing appears. Thank you.
Olivia Mardwick.
I was hoping I'd follow Matt. This first one is a personal poem, which just means it was difficult to write. It's called The Last Guest. It was for a birthday. Around a table, flutes of wine and smoke. Laid out dishes of shifting water for the ash tapped into and eroding. Hours worth of talk, blowing on dessert. It is the way we know that a year is truly over, our way of recognizing. Someone says the word born. We talk about blur, tangled hair in the kitchen broom, about orange paint streaked with a rag, about luck, about brevity, our tremors of love. According to what I know, the sun will rise just before 7, and I hope it will be like a hand pulling me low to where I need. Even this late we are waiting for the night to break, like we are waiting for the last guest to arrive, the one who isn't coming. On beauty. I'm running out of eyeliner, which isn't really a problem. It's not like running out of milk or money. For a while I thought I wouldn't need it, and let me tell you, it felt good to get rid of something to need. The makeup would last one more day, so I used it. And on the way to the train station, admittedly, with the care I just took, was feeling beautiful, which is a way to say ready. A young man noticed me and smiled in a way that suggested we could know each other. Really good eyeliner costs about $20, which if you think about it, is not very much to exist in somebody else's mind. Wherever you are, straight into you I go. I think I know so much. Realistically, it is just a lot that I know, only that. I was once told that a wise man says nothing. I am foolish and wrong, and I like it. The sun is rested and quiet. The heat does what it wants with me. On Humboldt Street, the trees become touched with activity, and it crowds me with feeling. The badness of the day is in its banality. The sky is soft enough to put your hands through. Somewhere in there, I am joined by the idea that everything could be mine, as long as I belong to it.
Baby, you're so safe, you read about fire just to pretend to burn. You remember ice on the fire escape, cracked tile need not replace. Inside staves its udder away from your suckle. You walk with Virgil and can see the apes. The apartment is lost like an egg. You imagine washing away with your mother's uterine lining. A dot like a big tip. Night sky split its ochre bellies over and over. A curl, the whole magic jungle come down your head. This is shopping while the hairline lasts. A pink I've never seen. This must be blood in the white sand. Blood finger painted on an envelope.
Species. They become impractical and not worth mentioning. They're far enough away, like in the middle of a lake, maybe Lake Wallenpaupack, the Lackawaxen River, its primary outflow. One would hardly, on their best day, determinedly and passionately relaxing at the sky and all else there is, think about it much from that boat. Bugs in the water. Watch out for ticks. It's going to be a hard year. You find them later. What if you find Tim Curry along the Lackawaxen River, where the Lackawaxen meets the Delaware? An ostentatious pursuit. Pursuits can be associated with boats in a number of ways, like a race or a police thing. Pursuits can be academic and so on and so on. Boats and academics have a looser relationship that reminds me of a postcard my friend Mike sent me from Italy with an image of Shelley's body being burnt on a beach. It was not sunlight. It was briefly keeping insects away. John Roebling built an aqueduct over the Delaware River, bridging Menacing Ford, New York, and Lackawaxen, Pennsylvania. Shelley died today. He awoke a cockroach, or as I prefer, a vermin. Everyone was seduced. I mean, everyone was shocked. No one was surprised. These are the building blocks. A funeral pyre on a beach burning P.B. Shelley's body is a really cool image, much like Ed Harris windsurfing with actor Edward Norton. They have fingerless gloves. The psychedelic Fur's fourth album, Mirror Moves, from 1984, which peaked at number 15 in the UK and number 43 in the US, and is for us and the boys not diegetic, although some fictitious audience can hear it, will them into being. The aqueduct is still there. It is a one-lane wooden bridge over the Delaware River. They kept referring to him as Bill de Kooning because of an okay book we all read. I would text passages to Mike, so he kind of read it too. I don't know if he calls him Bill or not. It was not summertime. Saturday, people. Something about art, and who cares though? You can imagine what the light over your shoulder would have looked like had you been standing there, or maybe it was overcast that day, or maybe your own cultural experience. A house is like a skull, and you are asleep inside it. Even when you're awake, you're not that good. Sometimes you are like an empty boat. Imagine a rickety old thing, and now imagine a really nice one. Not so large that I couldn't traverse, say, all 13 miles of Lake Wallenpaupack in northeastern Pennsylvania, and you are empty in that lake, or honestly just any lake, and nobody cares how nice of a boat you are anyway. Sometimes it's cool though because Ed Harris or somebody like that is driving the boat, and you or it are not empty for a time, and you hardly would need to concern yourself with anything stairwell. He also built the Brooklyn Bridge, which you can see from 110 Columbia Heights, Brooklyn, New York. When I went to the museum, I saw a painting of a room painted red and a couple of sculptures that really were trumpets. This is not about any of these people. Luckily, I began to fall asleep and it was not Saturday. I saw Gregory Samsa Agonistus there. I put him outside to be kind, but he keeps getting back in. Italy probably has really good quartets. A noble pursuit, burned carefully. A Japanese technique for keeping things out of doors made for keeping things outdoors. Sometimes things find their way back in. Shu sugi ban. You can't fuck something up if you've already set it on fire. Point to your head like in the meme and smile. I bet you just fucked that up, screams T.S. Eliot. It was nothing to do with any of this. If you want to know the rest, I have some copies
of All right, so.
That makes so much sense. As somebody who does that.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Thanks a lot. Hey, the star of the show here.
Your camera.
That's right here, this guy.
People only film fights.
We'll start fighting then. Somebody.
We were filming in a Wawa convenience store in Jersey the other day.
Oh wow.
And people were giving us shit for private property and whatever.
Yeah.
And we're like, what's the difference between somebody with their phone on a selfie stick
Yeah.
and a camera on a tripod?
Yeah.
What the fuck is the difference?
Yeah.
The one is culturally fine and the other one is, no, that's private property. You gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Ran into the nicest police officer from my hometown that can ever exist. Old Bridge police are bad, but they were kicking us out of a place, and we said, look, we don't want to ruin your night. Can you tell us where we can go to film in a parking lot with good lighting that you won't bother us? And the guy was like, almost like as if he had a childhood.
Delighted at that,
He had obviously had a childhood friend who became an artist, you know, and he always kind of respected him for it. And so he was like, oh, go to this parking lot. Nobody will bother. And the lighting there is great.
Oh wow.
Nicest cop I've ever known. I have to throw the invitation out on Friday, the 5th. We're having a party at our apartment in Sunset Park. We're also filming a small scene for this weird movie we're making. But you guys should come.
Cool.
More creative, fun people around.
After a few drinks, I really come alive, which is why my parents stopped drinking about 30 years ago.
We can go have a drink at Queen Vic. They're pretty cheap.
Well, I'm up for whatever, man.
The guy who bartends there is pretty nice.
It's a difficult, like, if you're not Jewish, it feels kind of weird to say, like, Jew. You know, like, it feels a little bit like a slang, you know.
I don't say it. Just off from my perspective.
I was surprised to just hear also somebody who
Yeah.
spent so much time thinking about the difference.
Yeah.
I'd never really...
There was actually a joke, a stand-up joke about it. Racist upon inflection. Someone's a Jew, but you can't say someone's a Jew.
Yeah.
Which is insane because that doesn't exist for Christians.
Mhm.
That's absolutely.
Yeah, there's no stigma
Or
against
imagine
that.
I'm like this old construction worker guy, right? And I'm
Yeah.
telling my buddy's story. He's just like, so check out the difference between these two. This fucking Jewish guy, okay? Or this fucking Jew, right? Like, that sounds derogatory.
Yeah.
I'm sure it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, but I think you're right. He's fucking Christian.
Yeah.
So I just said in the Bible.
It's fucking Christ, though.
I have a wandering got with no clear description of a woman. But then it's like the woman
Are we headed to?
Yeah, let's go.
Are you sure we're doing?
We
this?
don't have to do it, but let's at least go check it out.
All right.
You're not.
But know that he's only using us because he's so
You stop.
Let's just stop. If you're coming
Okay,
to my house,
alright,
stop
alright.
in Williamsburg.
All right, sweet.
Unless you want to drink on the train, I'm not
On the bus. 441. This black and white building with like the weird, funky ass, like New Orleans kind of like fire escapes. This is where Frank O'Hara lived.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, this was Frank O'Hara's place. Yeah.
This is where you drink a Coke?
Yeah. Yeah.
With
You know where Ginsburg
And Richard Hell
I was
and
going to say Larry Rivers.
Larry Rivers, yeah.
14th and 1st.
Was Burroughs still alive?
I think so. He lived in this place called the Bunker on Bowery. So, you know, Allen Ginsberg probably was here. And then Joe Brainerd moved in when Frank O'Hara moved out. So Joe Brainerd lived there too. But I learned all this on this, yeah.
Which room was it? Could you circle?
I don't know which room it was. There's a plaque over there,
He
actually.
definitely had a balcony. We can assume that.
Yeah. But it's just such a cool building. Like that black and white is just so funky.
Thanks for being our sweetest tour guide, man.
Yeah, of course.
Next stop.
Day air, breathing it in and breathing it out, and little clouds like smoke, and little wind strings and threads. Everything that the pencil says is erasable, unlike our voices, whose words are black and permanent, smudging our lives like coal dust, unlike our memories, etched like a skyline against the mind, unlike our irretrievable deeds. The pencil spills everything and then takes everything back. For instance, here I am at Hollywood Boulevard and Vine, almost 60, Christmas Eve, the flesh flashers and pimps and inexhaustible walk of famers, snubbing their joints out, hoping for something not too horrible to happen across the street. The rain squall has sucked up and bumped off. The palm fronds dangle lugubrious.
This is number 26, if I can read Roman numerals correctly. Sometimes, on days of perfect and exact light, when things are as real as they can possibly be, I slowly ask myself why I even bother to attribute beauty to things. Does a flower really have beauty? Does a fruit really have beauty? No, they have only color and form and existence. Beauty is the name of something that doesn't exist, but that I give to things in exchange for the pleasure they give me. It means nothing. So why do I say things they're beautiful? Yes, even I who live off living, and unwittingly visited by the lies of men concerning things that simply exist. How hard to be just what we are, and see things and see nothing but the visible.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You are waking up when the drunkenness has already abated. Ask the wind, the wave, a star, a clock, all that which flees. All that which groans, all that which rolls, all that which sings, all that which speaks. Ask them what time it is. And the wind, the wave, the star, the bird, the clock will reply, it is time to be drunk. So that you may not be the martyred slaves of time, get drunk, and never pause for rest. With wine, with poetry, or with virtue, as you choose.
You're the one they want to know. I'm jealous and a little proud. I want to kill and kiss you too. All the world's discovering my big secret. Everyone's in love with me.
Did you make that up? Is that directly about being in our situation? Sounds pretty accurate.
You should be singing it to me. Also, I only sing when I'm...
So this is the house I lived in right before I moved to New York. I moved out on Halloween 2010, 691 Denison, apartment A. Greatest place I ever lived, right across the street from this unbelievable park. Tennis court right across the street. I had my own tennis court. That front porch was mine right there. That big window. My desk was at that window. I used to just sit on my porch, fucking read and write poetry all day. I had a couch. It was absolute paradise. The grocery store was right behind the house. The bank was right across the park. $5.50 a month, all utilities included. Best neighborhood in town, surrounded by gorgeous architecture.
So I guess I've been thinking about this in terms of using zines in the classroom and thinking about how to introduce them to students and why you do that and why they would be important. And kind of building off of what you're talking about, now more than ever, it's really an excellent way to have a conversation about information literacy, media literacy. You could have, like, we have zines about
Jack and I used to live in that storefront, 2557, Indianola, next to this Mercedes-Benz reseller. I've never really actually seen anything in that building. On the corner of Hudson and Indianola. Jack had probably 20 arcade machines in there when we lived there. It was like living in an arcade. It was awesome. So this house is significant because the first time I got bounced out of New York, I was looking at a place to live in Columbus, Ohio. I didn't even have a job. I just wanted to find a place to live. And half of this house was for rent. 1 block south of Schiller Park, German Village. Brick, beautiful. The entire, had beautiful hardwood floors, had a claw bathtub. The entire half of the house, like 2 bedrooms, mantelpiece, beautiful, I think was $525 a month. And couldn't get it because I didn't have a job. But I always think about what might have been. And every time I'm in Columbus, when I get the chance, I walk by this place to see if the for rent sign is in the window, to just kind of reminisce and hypothesize about what might have been. This is Schiller Park, that I've written a really bad poems about, and am about to do so again. Idyllic Schiller Park by day, idyllic pastoral cosmopolitan lifestyle here, romantic. The Schiller Park stage, where many great thespians have treaded the boards. There's the drinks and snacks, where many great audience members have gotten drinks and snacks. There used to be a raffle every night. You'd put $1 into a pool, everybody in the cast, and you would get a tab with an act and a scene number. Act 3, scene 2, Act 2, scene 4, what have you. And if a helicopter went over, a police helicopter, you know, on its way to like stare down a perp, because Columbus has like, I think like the 2nd or 3rd most skybirds in the country. Like after the LAPD, like Columbus has like the most police helicopters for some reason. But if a police helicopter flew over during your scene, you win the pool. So I think I came pretty close once. I don't think I ever actually won the pool, but I didn't mind doing Shakespeare outside, man. It was the beginning of just accepting all frequencies and accepting all noises. Purely democratic listening.
Has fled. I put on my mother's old Timex watch.
I will not miss my flight.
Is number 550.
Practice contemplation of the eternal in an air swirling with very specifically time-bound injunctions. E.g., if you wish to visit Toronto, now is the time. Groups 1, 2, 3, 4, boarding at gate C42.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not going to be any fucking masterpiece or anything, but...
Something's happening here. What it is ain't exactly fair. There's a man with a gun over there. You're telling me I got to beware. And it's time to stop. Yeah, what's that sound? Yeah, but that was a going on. Being drunk, nobody's right, yet young people speaking their mind.
It's almost impossible for you to learn anything.
Yeah.
Instead, you just become a really, really good liar.
Yeah.
Con artist, sort of. And everybody, I think, is partly like that, too. That's part of the ingredients and recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Yowzer. That's the fucking
TV.
good word of the day.
TV's coming on here.
It's trying to, isn't it? Now, I found, I don't know if it's my imagination or
Yeah.
not, but some of the channels put out a stronger signal than others.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a weird
Well,
phenomenon.
the ones that are like numbered 201 through 208
Yeah.
are all the
Well, those
high
are the
def.
HD, right?
And sometimes it feels like they try to bust through harder and more moving faster. See that? See that?
Yeah.
Got a whole picture there.
Yeah.
Come on. This channel comes in really strong too because it's always cartoons, TBS.
Okay.
So they don't have as many subtleties in the
Yeah.
picture to
I see.
compute.
Right.
This is my theory, and
Yeah.
it's got to be right. It's mine.
Yeah.
And all my theories are right, therefore.
Yeah.
Ergo.
That's another theory.
Yes.
The theory is
Theoretically.
theoretically everything I say must be right.
That's like in Game of Thrones, Cersei and Joffrey have a conversation.
Yeah.
Remember who Joffrey was?
Yeah, of course.
And it's after he, in the second episode, so if you want to fuck this country up, all you got to do is shoot down 2 or 3 satellites.
Right.
And it's over.
Yeah.
You know, it takes them weeks to get one back up.
Right.
And
or even this
while
shit.
they're down, we're standing there with our pants off.
Mm-hmm.
Completely.
Yeah.
It would be just such a no-brainer if you have the technology, which more and more people have, to take out the satellites. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. You know,
Yeah.
it wouldn't even really probably cost that much.
Or the Russian hacking shit. You know, that was not possible until the fucking internet. You know, not that it necessarily led to anything, but
Oh, it's leading to something.
Well, the actual
You
hacking
know,
itself.
When I was in high school, they were just inventing computers.
WikiLeaks.
And it was hard for me to imagine what the hell good is it going
Yeah.
to be to have a machine that just adds up a bunch of fucking numbers real fast.
Yeah.
What's the big deal, you know?
Well,
I couldn't imagine the possibilities of artificial intelligence and how it can be applied. Thinks something that can think at the speed of light.
Yeah.
And you can program it.
I think you're developing a fit obsession.
Last one. At Constance. With confidence. Everything in confidence can be done.
So I got wasted and I was dancing and I was like, by the way, that whistle took me a year to learn.
Right.
Yeah, I know. But, hold on. So this is the poem I wrote. I'm only gonna do one poem. And I was thinking about killing myself. I was actually thinking about fucking dying. And then I was like, oh. Once you believe your soul has broken, the fatigue is overwhelming. Death is no longer a worry. Claiming a sort of familiarity is. The world looks different as acorns and trees, always fatigued, slow. But where flowers exist, one suddenly realizes the soul's not expiring, it's shifting, morphing, developing stronger layers from its cocoon, developing in fresh ions, curating new paths, growing without knowledge, to aid in travel amongst gods and asteroids, patiently gaining wisdom of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alone.
Yeah.
This is my white t-shirt collection right here. You may be wondering, how am I always in costume? How do I have so many white t-shirts? Well, here's the answer, folks. Just a bundle of Hanes at the top of my closet.
When you cross your heart to someone you love, you're supposed to love them until the day you die. Yeah, when you cross your heart to someone you love, you're supposed to love them until the day you die. Darling, baby, please don't leave me here to cry.
I bet the baddest boxers, including Cassius Clay, but you got the toughest punch, baby, that's going round today. Should have been a boxer, baby. I do believe you missed your call. I tried to call you up, said you haven't got the time. You were saving all your money now and spending all of mine. Should have been a boxer, baby, 'cause everything you do just knocks me out.
Today, the readers are going to be Wimpy AF, Shirin Aliyah Ahmad, Andrea Rubla, Anna Bozicevic, Bonnie Chow, Samir Hazelhurst, Haley Mark Ryder, Matt Proctor, Camila Roldan, Kat Tyke, and Candace Williams. So I'll announce the first reader. It'll be Wimpy AF.
Made of stone. 8 turrets enclosed 5 acres. Women were jailed with infants in their cells. The men were forced to dig the city roads. The women stitched, they sewed 15,000 leather shoes per day. The Sabbath sermon would ring from chapel under sobs and screams of women whipped with frayed confab. The inmates starved or had to eat the bad food, rancid butter, rotted fish, and meat. That was then. Now, a CrossFit gym is named Crow Hill, and there's a coffee shop that's called Polina Cuervo. She likes the croissants. After the rain. After the rain beads down Nostrand's windows, I count the blues. Ephemeral shades of storm's wake, an ice shine navy, an oil slick's iridescent blues. I stared at a psychiatrist's off-white walls once a week after school. He prescribed baby doses of Paxil. I imagined swallowing the sea of blue.
There's a couple of them in by that plant.
Good.
You know.
Okay, so you guys, the Bubble Blowers Museum is really going in.
Well, there's the one in the water end. Oh, it's huge.
Yeah, they bounce. So, they're saying it's even before that commercial.
Wow. I believe it. I bet bubbles are, you know, I don't know, 1700 or something.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, really early. Okay, so references to bubble blowing may go back to ancient times.
Yeah.
Verified. CV Boys quotes third hand that the earliest depiction of blowing bubbles was seen on an Etruscan base in Rome.
Ah.